an admiral's shocking statement saying Russians with hypersonic missiles can sink all U.S. aircraft carriers. Russia's hypersonic weapons are radically changing the game of war, he said. Ultrasonic weapons are changing everything. They are the new reality, he said. In an article, the former Admiral Davorin Domazet of Croatian origin analyzes the new reality, with Russia having a military advantage since it is the only country in the world that has supersonic missiles in operation. Domazet, as a military analyst, has characterized the Western occult oligarchy as the enemy of humanity and has even called the war in Ukraine the conflict between Christ and the Antichrist, emphasizing that the Antichrist is the West, he says. Note that Croatia is a NATO member state and is, like Poland, a Catholic Slavic nation, which even shares some of the cultural Russophobia, though not as much as Poland. About Russia's hypersonic weapons, Russia's supersonic weapons. It was in 2018 when Putin, the president of Russia, emphasized that it has new hypersonic weapons. So it's been 5 years now. The term supersonic refers to missiles flying at speeds of Mach 5 and above. That's 5 times the speed of sound. At the time, many in the West dismissed Putin's claims as a bluff. Now we know he was not bluffing. Russia is the only country in the world, mind you, the only country in the world that has ready-to-use hypersonic missiles, not one but 3 types, the Zircon, the Kinzhal, and the Avangard. It fundamentally changes the game of war. Domazet explained why these weapons are game changers in war. In World War I, tanks were the game changer in military technology. In World War II, it was the Air Force. Carrier strike groups were an unstoppable force wherever they traveled, dominating the seas ever since. But hypersonic precision missiles have rendered this force obsolete overnight. The main military front in today's global conflict, according to Domazet, is the anti-ballistic system, ABM, installed by the US on the Poland-Romanian axis and the Russians on the North Pole, Kaliningrad, Crimea, Syria axis. These are defense systems designed to intercept incoming nuclear missiles. However, current ABM systems are only effective against missiles flying at speeds of up to 3.5 times the speed of sound, Mach 3.5. Russia's Kinzhal missile cannot be shot down. Russia's new Kinzhal missile flies at speeds of Mach 12 to 15, and nothing in Western defense arsenals can stop it hitting. During the war in Ukraine, Russia made a stunning display of its power. The first Kinzhal strike, carried out a month after the start of hostilities in Ukraine, March 2022, was perhaps the most significant. Russian forces targeted a large weapons depot in Ukraine that had been built to withstand a nuclear strike. It was buried 500 feet underground and protected by several layers of armored concrete. The weapons depot was destroyed. The Kinzhal flies at altitudes between 20 and 40 kilometers with a maximum range of 2,000 kilometers. When over the target, it dives vertically and accelerates to Mach 15, gathering enormous kinetic energy in addition to its explosive charge. The first strike with a single Kinzhal missile destroyed Ukraine's underground nuclear weapons cache. This was a message for the West. Russia can sink all U.S. aircraft carriers without a reaction. The Kinzhal was developed to destroy carrier strike groups. If it could destroy a warehouse built to withstand a nuclear strike, it can destroy an aircraft carrier with ease. So according to Admiral Domazet, neither Western powers nor China are close to possessing hypersonic missiles. He explained that the critical issue with hypersonic weapons is the extreme temperature reached during supersonic flight on the surface of the missiles, which can cause the missiles to break up in flight. Russia is the only nation that has developed special materials that allow missiles to withstand these extreme temperatures, so their flight can be controlled throughout their trajectory and hit targets with pinpoint accuracy. Western intelligence agencies estimated that Russia had about 50 Kinzhals at the start of the war in Ukraine and has so far used only 9 of them. 9 out of 50. The Russians recently dropped 6 Kinzhals in Ukraine, with the Ukrainians saying they can't shoot them down. The 11 American aircraft carriers. The United States has 11 aircraft carriers. Of these, less than half will be active at any point, while others are in dock for maintenance or preparation. Launching 6 Kinzhals in one go is a military message. We have the ability to sink all U.S. aircraft carriers at once, was Russia's message. Russia will run out of ammo any minute now, experts say. Russia has the capacity to build about 200 of the hypersonic missiles per year, and now has a means to fit the missiles onto aircraft, ships, and submarines. In addition to destroying aircraft carriers, they can also destroy NATO ABM missile sites. So in short, Russia won for now the arms race. Western powers could take up to 10 years or more to catch up, and until then, the only way to avoid losing the war is to either concede defeat and accept Russia's security demands or escalate the conflict, resulting in nuclear war. A conservative estimate suggests that at least 1 billion people would be lost in such a conflict, and of course no one would win. Who would do such a thing, though? The idea of using nuclear weapons is in fact so repugnant that we can be sure our leaders will never choose the path of self-destruction. And this is by Banking News Greece, and I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.